Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today I am going to be going through all of the books that I could read that would complete a series. So the final book in a series, or would get me up to date anyway as far as I possibly can. I wanted to do this video today because today is World Book Day, so happy World Book Day to everybody, and I thought this would be a really great video to do today because if you didn't know, I have launched the Final Book Support Group. All information will be linked down below with the announcement video up here if you want to go and check it out and find out more information. So I need to do this video to hold myself accountable. Now this is not all of the series I'm partway through, this is just the series, the books that are the last in the series that I'm up to that book. So for example, a duology, I've read the first one, this is the second one, or a trilogy, I've read the first two, this is the last one. Similar with a quartet, similar with a series that's got 5 books in it, you know? You see the drill. So I thought I would tell you about these books. I have 34 books on here, so that's excluding the rest of the series that I'm already partway through. These are 34 final books that I can read to finish off some series, and it's a little bit intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of chunky books on here, so we're gonna go through them. There's absolutely no rhyme or reason to this list at all. I'm not necessarily specifically prioritizing some over others, but you'll spot some that are already in my March TBR. There's one in here that I've already started reading that's not specifically on my March TBR, but I will be finished with it in March, and there's another one that I've just added potentially to my TBR as well for the mini magical readathon. So yeah, essentially it's my final book TBR. So let's just start, shall we? I'm going to start with this one. It's probably one of the ones that I'm least excited about, but because it's the final book, I'm just going to read it anyway and get it done and dusted. But it is chunky as heck. And it is Anyway the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell. This is the third and final book in the Simon Snow series. Reasonable chunky book, but I'm hoping to finish it and finish out the series. Then we have Girls of Fate and Fury by Natasha Young. This is the third and final book in the Girls of Paper and Fire series. Do want to try and make this a priority this year for sure, but we'll see what happens with that. Then we have Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo, which is a book. I took the bookmark out. I think Jade shouted at me and told me to take the bookmark out. I got halfway through this 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I can't even remember. I just didn't carry on. I wasn't finding it as engaging as Six of Crows, and honestly I probably would just unhaul the duology if it wasn't for the fact that Jade's told me that she cried during this book, and I'm really intrigued to find out why. So I've taken the bookmark out and I'm going to start again. This is the special edition version, Crooked Kingdom for the Six of Crows duology. Then we have House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J Maas, which is the second in the Crescent City series. I have no idea how many books are going to be in this series, but this will get me caught up. I am, at the time of filming this, currently reading this book. My other copy is downstairs, but I'm about 200 and odd pages in. And I am hoping to read it the week that this video goes up, but I just wanted to add it on here anyway just to mention it. I'm very excited, and obviously it's like, of this entire project, it's the first one I'm hoping to finish, so fingers crossed. Then I have Bloody Rose by Nicholas Ames, which is the first in the I can't remember what this series is called. The first one was Kings of the Wild, and I picked it up on the recommendation of Cody. I know that she really enjoyed it, and I gave it 4 stars, I think, so this is the second one. Then we have A Vow So Deadly by Bridget Kemmerer, which is the third and final book in the Cursebreaker series, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Well, I'm on the fence about it, to be perfectly honest. It is on my March TBR, so I will be reading this one in March for the first Final Book Support Group readathon, which is happening between the 14th and the 20th of March, if you did not know. And I am looking forward to finishing off the trilogy. There's no need for it to have taken me this long, but I'm nervous because I loved A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I enjoyed A Heart So Fierce and Broken, but I'm terrified about how this is going to go down. I've heard very mixed things, but since I put it on my TBR, I've heard a load of people say that they absolutely loved it, so I am excited to be getting to it. Another one that's coming up very, very soon Then I have This Coven Won't Break by Isabel Sterling, which is the sequel to These Witches Don't Burn. I read These Witches Don't Burn so friggin' long ago and I really enjoyed it. I do think that what I might do is try and reread the first one because these are not very long. They're both about the same size. So I think I might try and binge the series and reread the first one as well. But I'm really looking forward to continuing on with the series because I really did enjoy the first one. I thought it was great. So I think I may do that, binge them both and finally finish this series out. Then we have The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson, which is the fourth, I think, final book in the Truly Devious series, so I'm fairly certain it's a quartet. I did love Truly Devious. I enjoyed Vanishing Stair. I didn't enjoy Hand on the Wall too much. I felt like that entire book was unnecessarily long and probably could have been in the back end of Vanishing Stair, just like 100 pages in the back end of Vanishing Stair maybe. So I'm interested to see how this goes on. Hopefully going to finish off the quartet or at least get up to date. Then we have As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which is the third and final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series. I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and I really enjoyed the second one, which was Good Girl Bad Blood. Good Girl's Guide to Murder was so fucking good. I loved that book so much. But this is the third and final one. I did start it and I got to page, I left a tab in, I got to page 59. I didn't get that far at all, but there is an element of stalking in the first, well, so far 59 pages of this book. Pris did tell me, because she read it around the same time, I ended up putting it down because I just was feeling really uncomfortable, and it made me really sad because I love this writing style. I love Holly Jackson's writing style. I love the story, I love the characters, so I really want to finish it off, but I wanted to find out first how long the stalking goes on for. Pris did say it's not too much further than where I'm up to already, so I probably won't restart it, but I will continue on with this one, and I do want to get through it and finish the series out. It seems sad to just stop on the last one, so I will try and plow through that, wade through the mud a little bit. It might just take me a little bit of time, but I would really like to finish this one off. Then I have The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout, which is the third book in the From Blood and Ash series. This isn't the final book in this series though, which kind of throws me a little bit because now I don't know whether or not it should be on here, because we have a fourth one coming out in this specific series. I know the Shadow in the Ember, I think it's called, or whatever the hell it's called, is like a spin-off of the second one, Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. It's a Flesh and Fire spin-off, I think, but there's a fourth book coming out in this, but I don't know if it's a prequel to From Blood and Ash or a sequel to this. I can't remember. Either way, I haven't read this yet and I need to. From Blood and Ash is a great series that I've really loved so far, but I've heard incredibly mixed things about this one and it's making me so phenomenally sad because I really just want to pick it up. So I am looking forward to continuing on with this one and finishing this series off, or getting up to date as much as I possibly can with the current books. So yeah, looking forward to this one. Then I have The Boundless by Anna Bright, which is the second in the Beholder series. This is a duology. The Beholder came in a fairy loot box many years ago and I just haven't carried on with the series, and I have kind of lost interest a little bit. It's waned a little bit because I obviously read The Beholder back in like 2019 I think, or 2020, so it's been a couple years. So my interest has waned a little bit, but I do want to read it. It's only like one more book, so I might as well finish it off. I already own it. I might as well continue with it. So I am interested in finishing this off, but I think I want to do it sooner rather than later so I don't lose my interest any further. But yeah, I am looking forward to getting it done and dusted and ticking it off, you know. Then I have Bonecryer's Dawn by Catherine Purdy. This is a very shiny cover. The first one did not look like this. Again, the first book, Bonecryer's Moon, came in a fairy loot box and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very good. I know this one gets some mixed reviews and stuff, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Honestly, I can't fully remember what happened in Bonecryer's Moon. It's been a hot minute since I picked it up, so it's going to be interesting picking this one up. I may need to see if I can do a quick Google and see if I can find out about the first one again. I do still own it, so if I need to reread it I will do, but these are not small books, you know, so we'll see what happens. But I am, again, interest has waned a little bit, but not as much as The Beholder, so I do want to pick this one up again sooner rather than later, but we'll see when I get to it. Then we have a Queen of Gilded Horns by Amanda Joy. This is the second one in a River of Royal Blood series, and I, again, came in a fairy loot box. I really loved A River of Royal Blood, and I think it's a very underestimated series. I don't think enough people are talking about it. It was fantastic. I may do a reread of A River of Royal Blood because these are not too chunky, so I may do a reread of that one because again I really did enjoy it, and I would like to get a refresh on that one before picking this one up. So really looking forward to continuing on with this series. Then we have Iron Hearts by Nina Varela, which is the second in the Cryer's War series. I loved Cryer's War. This is like a queer sci-fi fantasy book. Again, could be one that I try and reread the first one of, but it's not been that long since I read Cryer's War, so we'll see. Then we have The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, which is the third and final book in the Winter Night trilogy. I've been meaning to read this for so freaking long. I really enjoyed The Bear and the Nightingale. I enjoyed it way more than I thought I was going to. I didn't enjoy the second one as much, The Girl in the Tower, but I do want to finish it off and just get it done. But I know that these books are not ones that you can just kind of like fly through really. They do take a little bit of time. The text in them is so tiny. Honestly, I can't really remember what happened at the end of The Girl in the Tower, so I may need to look that up and find out what happened. But I am looking forward to finishing this trilogy off and finding out what happens at the end for Vassia. Then we have Us by Serena Bowen and Elle Kennedy. This is the second in the Hymn series. It's a duology. I do also have the novella 2.5 basically epic as well, so I can finish both of these. This one is on my March TBR, so I'm hoping to get to it very soon, obviously in March, and then I will read epic straight after as well, just to finish it off and round that off. Then we have The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, which is the third, possibly final book, I'm not sure, in the Kiss Quotient series. This isn't the kind of like companion novels, essentially. You're following another character that's been featured in a book previously. I think this one is following Quan, yeah, so he's been mentioned previously in other books, so it's not necessarily a series, it's companion, but it's kind of a series, you know. And I really loved the first two books. They were so good, and I'm really looking forward to it. Again, I've heard really mixed things, which is very disappointing because I loved the first two, but we'll see what happens. Then we have A Kiss for a Kiss by Helena Hunting. This is the fourth book in this series, I'm fairly certain. Yes. The first one being A Lie for a Lie, then we have Favour for a Favour and A Secret for a Secret, and I've really enjoyed this series. I'm really looking forward to this one. These books are always very steamy. Helena Hunting really knows how to do steamy books, and I really enjoy them, and I like the sports side of things as well because I do like hockey, so I am looking forward to finishing this series off. Then we have The Legacy, which is book 5 in the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy, and I love this series so much. This one is following it is book 5, isn't it? Yeah, the previous characters from the previous 4 books, but several years on, 3 years after graduation. So there's going to be a wedding, a proposal, an elopement, and a surprise pregnancy, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's not that long, but I'm so excited about getting back with these characters and finding out who's doing what and what's been going on and how their relationships are going. So I am really looking forward to picking this one up. Then we have The Mask Falling by Samantha Shannon, which is the 4th book in the Bone Season series. This is going to be, I think, about a 7-book series, and this is book 4, so I just want to get up to date with them. I do plan on, you can see them poking through there, I do plan on rereading this series and then, you know, reading this. Oh, also The Dawn Chorus, which is a novella that comes before this one because I haven't read it yet. Really enjoy this series, so I'm very excited about rereading the first 3 books and then continuing on with the 4th one. This is a chunker of a book. It's very big indeed, but I'm really looking forward to it because I really did enjoy the first 3, so very excited about continuing on with this one. Then we have Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerry Maniscalco, which is the second in the Kingdom of the Wicked series. There is going to be a 3rd one. I think it's Kingdom of the Feared, which is going to be the 3rd one, if I remember correctly. But I would like to get up to date. I think that's coming out next year, so I may leave this one till later on in the year. We'll see. I did start this one, but I don't know what happened to me. I think I put it down, standard. So I will probably go back and start again. But I'm really excited about reading this one because I loved Kingdom of the Wicked. I know Jade fucking hated it, but I really loved Kingdom of the Wicked, so very excited to continue on with Kingdom of the Cursed. Then we have Flashfire by TJ Klune, which is the second in the Extraordinary series. The 3rd one is coming out later on this year, I'm fairly certain. I've already got it pre-ordered, Heatwave, and I'm really excited. And it's queer, it's fantastic, it's got superheroes. I would recommend, but I'm excited to get up to date and be ready for Heatwave to come out later on in the year, so I would recommend. Then I have A Storm of Ice and Stars, I nearly said Sky, Nope. By Lisa Ludek. This is the second in the Shiver of Snow and Sky series. Yep, I think. But I believe that this is like more like a companion novel rather than a following on immediately novel. But I read A Shiver of Snow and Sky for Polathon this year while I was at Jade's, because she's been going on about it for ages. I'm really looking forward to this one, so very excited about continuing on, because I really did enjoy A Shiver of Snow and Sky a lot more than I expected to be honest, so it was great. Then we have The Righteous by David Ragg, which is the second in the Black Hawks duology, which I read in January. Yeah, in January, and really enjoyed. I gave it 4 stars. It was fantastic. This series was recommended to me on the basis that I loved the Greatcoat series, and I wanted some comedy but with dark twistiness and war and politics and all of that good stuff within it. So it was recommended on that basis, and I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic. It's going to be a great old time. This is a chunky ass book. Then we have Fall of the Argosy by Sebastian de Castell, Speak of the Devil. This is the second in the Way of the Argosy series. It's essentially part of the Spellslinger series, but it's like a prequel to Spellslinger. And I'm really looking forward to it. Hopefully finish that duology off. Then we've got Auroras End by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. This one is the third and final book in the Aurora Cycle series, which I've absolutely loved. This is a YA sci-fi series that I've really enjoyed. Not as much as the Illuminae files by these two authors, but I've still really enjoyed this one. It's very much a found family type book, and I really loved it. So I'm looking forward to finding out what happens to them all in the end and seeing what happens. The second book was very weird, but I'm really looking forward to finding out what happens in the end to them all. Then we have the Christmassaurus and the Naughty List by Tom Fletcher. This is a middle grade series. It's a very young middle grade series, basically about the Christmassaurus and also this, this young boy? Where is he? Somewhere. William. I think he's called William. Trundle, yeah. But it's really good. I love this book, this series so much. Tom Fletcher does such a great job with these, so I am looking forward to carrying on with that series and finishing it off. I don't know if there's going to be any more. There might be, but getting up to date at least anyway. Then I have The Wizards of Once, Never and Forever by Cressida Cowell, which is the second, no it's not the second, it's the 4th book in the Wizards of Once quartet, and I need to finish this series off. Again, it's another one that I got partway through, but I really wanted to wait for the audiobook because, oh look, there's my Sam Winchester bookmark. I wondered where that had gone. So I did want to wait for the audiobook because David Tennant does the audio narration and he's fantastic. So I do want to continue on with this one. My favourite character out of the whole series is Squeeze Juice. He is adorable. So very excited to continue on and finish off that series. Then we have The Secrets of Whitestone Gate by Julia Noble, which is the last book in this duology. The first one being Black Hollow, The Mystery of Black Hollow Lane, which I read later on last year. Jade recommended this one to me. It is set near where Jade was born, I believe, so that's why she loves it so much. Not the only reason. It's a pretty good book. It's really good, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with this one. I have the Tea Dragon Tapestry by Kay O'Neill, which is the 3rd book, possibly final, I don't know, book in the Tea Dragon Society series. This is a cute little graphic novel series about a tea dragon society. That's it. That's all there is to tell you. It's got tea dragons in it. Tea dragons, and you know, all of that good stuff, and it's absolutely beautiful and I love it. This is also on my March TBR. Very excited. Then we have Shadowghast by Thomas Taylor, which is an Aeron Sea mystery. This is not, I just remembered, this is not the final book in this series, I don't think. No, it isn't. Because Festagrim comes out this year. It's not the final book in the series, but it is going to get me up to date, so we're going to put it on here anyway. Malamander was the first one in the series, Gargantus was the second, and now we're on Shadowghast, and I'm really excited about it. On to our last 3 books now. We have The Bewitching of Avalyn Jones by Phil Hicks, which again, I don't think is the final book in this series, but there's no sign of a 3rd one coming out yet, so I want to get up to date with this one. First one was The Haunting of Avalyn Jones, and in that one we're following Avalyn Jones. She ends up going on holiday to see her aunt, and she ends up going into a bookstore and finding out a load of information about, she ends up finding a diary, a young girl's diary who died several years or many years prior to when Avalyn got there, and then she ends up being haunted, And I reckon it's going to be a similar situation with this one. I don't know. We'll find out. Potkin and Stubbs Ghost Catchers by Sophie Green. I have a bookmark in here. I did get partway through, didn't carry on for whatever reason. 88 pages. Really love this series. It's very, very good. I love Potkin and Stubbs following Lil Potkin and Nedley Stubbs. Lil wants to be a reporter and she's trying to find her big break in the story world, and it turns out that the story that she's looking for could be in the form of Nedley Stubbs right in front of her. And that's all I'm going to tell you, but I'm really excited to continue on with this one and finish this series out. This is definitely the final one in the series, unless Sophie decides to add more to it, which I would not be opposed to. And then the final book that I have here is Vicious Spirits by Kat Cho, which is the second book in the Wicked Fox series, the Gumiho series. And I really enjoyed Wicked Fox. Again, I read this like 2018, 2020 maybe. Came in a Fairy Loot box. Really, really enjoyed it. It was following our main character who basically had lost, she's a Gumiho, and she's lost her bead, and this boy had it and she had to try and get it back. Now in this one I think it's just kind of like a companion novel. We're following a different character, but I think she's in the book as well. So I'm really looking forward to this one and carrying on with it, and I'm hoping to read this one for the Mini Magical Readathon, so fingers crossed I can get this one done in March as well. So those are all the books that I can finish or get up to date with a series with. This does not include, you know, books that I'm halfway through a series of. For example, the Murderbot Diaries. I'm only on book 3 of that series. So that's what I'm up to. Let me know in the comments down below if you will prioritise some of these over others. Obviously, I am planning on reading at least 4 of these, finishing at least 4 of these series or getting up to date anyway, with at least 4 of these series in March. 4? 5. This lot are all on my March TBR, so that's 5 of them gone in March, hopefully. That's if I do get to Vicious Spirits. We'll see. But at least 4 of them, anyway, in March, so that's pretty sick, and I'm pretty happy with that. So, yeah. That's everything. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you would prioritise. Let me know if we've got any matching, and let me know if you're taking part in the final book support group as a whole, but also in the readathon in March, and I shall speak to you in the next one. Bye for now.